we turn back to poor Karine Jean-Pierre, who's really, really having a rough week because the Harris campaign doesn't seem to have a lot of ideas. The Harris campaign can't even name a single accomplishment that she's achieved during her time as vice president. The Kamala campaign can't answer for all those old videos describing her as the most left-wing senator, most radical, wants Medicare for all, for illegal aliens, all sorts of really crazy stuff that voters don't like. So Kamala has an idea. She's finally got an idea, and her idea is no tax on tips. Now, I know what you're thinking. You might be scratching your head and saying, hold on, where have I heard this before? Wait, didn't Trump propose that a month or two ago? And then, well, hold on, now Kamala is proposing this as her own campaign proposal. Hold on. Karine Jean-Pierre, White House press secretary, was asked about the no tax on tips proposal suddenly from the Democrats. Here's what she says about where it came from.
So following up on eliminating taxes on tips, is that an idea that the Biden administration considered at any point in the past 3.5 years?
What I can say is the president supports it. And what I can say is obviously the president and the vice president, very much how I answered the earlier question, is that we have always put at front and center making it easier, giving American families a little bit more breathing room, something the president says very often. And we've shown that. We've shown that in the policies that we've laid out. And, you know, not going to go into what the former president said, but, you know, if Republicans truly cared about that, truly cared about hardworking Americans, they would have joined us on a lot of these proposals that we put forward.
So it's a new idea.
Obviously it's a new idea. I'm just saying that we support it.
No, it's actually not a new idea. It was a new idea when Trump suggested it a few weeks ago. Now it's an old idea that you're stealing from Trump. The best idea that Biden and Harris have right now is just stealing Trump's ideas. This actually is the clearest evidence that Kamala Harris really is a lot like Joe Biden. She's also a plagiarist. That's amazing. She's just checking over the Trump campaign's notes. Hey, Donald, what was that? She's, no tax. Yeah, sure. No tax on tips. What a great idea. Kamala put this in her own words. Kamala was at a speech. She didn't even try to change the wording on it.
And eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
How long before Kamala Harris says she's going to build the wall? I guess actually she's already doing that because Politico is saying Kamala's going to get tough on border security. Obviously, she's not. She's currently in charge of border security, and she won't do it. She's allowing in more illegal aliens than ever before in all of American history by a country mile. Yeah, but it worked pretty well for Trump. Whatever. Pretty soon, Kamala's going to dye her hair blonde. She's going to start wearing red power ties. Boy, this doesn't seem to suggest that the Kamala campaign is quite as confident as the media are portraying it. If the Kamala campaign were really doing as well as we're seeing in all the establishment news reports, why would she be pivoting to steal Trump's whole campaign? Up to and including now, no tax on tips. President Trump addressed this last night with Elon Musk.
He's making a speech and there will be no tax on tips. I said that months ago. And by the way, they had just the opposite. You know, they had not only tax on tips, but they hired 88,000 IRS agents, and many of them were assigned to go get waitresses and caddies and all of this on tips. They have a policy. They had a policy that they were really going to go after you and were really harassing people horribly. And then all of a sudden, for politics, she says, you know, she comes out with what I said, which I think is terrible. And I think it's also hitting them very hard. These people are fake.
These people are fake. And Trump, whatever you want to say about him, you know the guy isn't fake. So he mentions there that, hold on, the Democrats were for taxing tips. Well, it's even worse than that. The Biden campaign, the Biden White House, rather, in 2022, passed legislation that would make it easier for the IRS in the future to tax tips. And not only was it the Biden administration and Senate Democrats, VP Kamala Harris voted to pass that legislation because the vice president is president of the Senate. So she cast the tie-breaking vote. She is responsible for this. In 2022, she passed the ridiculously named Inflation Reduction Act that provided $80 billion in additional funding to the IRS, which then went to work cracking down on service industry reporting of tips so that they could be taxed. Not only has Kamala not done anything that she's proposing while she has had power as vice president and president of the Senate, the things that she has done are the exact opposite of the policy she now pretends to support, the policy that she stole verbatim from Donald Trump. That was a great clip. Now hold up, ring the bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.